Welcome everybody to Friday's MUTV group chat. United are about to decamp to Germany to finish their Europa League campaign. FC Copenhagen stand between Manchester United and a place in the semi-finals of a major European competition. So lots to discuss with Ben, with Maisie, with Wes, and with Danny. First of all, Wes, where are you? You're not in your usual. Well, first of all, the fact you're here is a bonus after your last. Show, which we will get to in a minute. Where are you, mate? Where are you?
I'm in London, mate. I'm on my way back now.
All right, okay. So first, we can't get beyond the fact that you were a no-show last time. Can you tell us the truth or not?
It's pretty simple, basic. No email, no WhatsApp in the WhatsApp group. So I just didn't think we were doing it. It's pretty simple. And I'll just carry on. I'll go further. I did go out for Rod's birthday, but I was home by about 9.
What day? When did you start?
That's a good question.
This is a Monday we're talking about now. So you went out Thursday?
Yeah, well, we went out Thursday. We started pretty early, but like I said, it was a bit of fun and games. That's it. But I didn't know it was on. True story.
Ben, I mean, that's your brother. You see your brother he's talking about there, Ben. Does that ring true, that story? Is there something different happened?
Well, I wasn't there.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I spoke to him before they got going, not after they'd finished. So, but I, to be fair, I did make that case for Wes that we didn't get a message the night before. So that's fair enough.
What? Amazing. You're not looking.
I'm not falling for that one.
That's nothing to fall for.
Surely, Stu, we've been doing it for like week 78 is it now? And
of course it is. Yes.
Surely you check.
Not necessarily, because we don't do as many.
Come on.
Why did everyone else get the message then? I don't quite understand that. But
to be fair, we'd have seen ours first thing in the morning, but if Wes has got a bit of a woozy head, then I can understand that.
Danny, you're keeping very quiet here, Danny. What's your?
Mate, I'm listening to the court case, mate.
Do you think I'd make a good lawyer, Danny?
I think there's a few things missing there, Ben. Do you know what I mean? You got to go in for the kill. But to be fair, like on the Monday morning, I had to go on today. Do you know what I mean? With his phone's off, But it's a panel decision, isn't it? Whether he should do a forfeit. But I wouldn't vote for the forfeit. I'll be honest.
We did ask
like 10 minutes of the show. Can we not go?
No, we did ask the viewers for a few suggestions if a punishment was required. I don't know if we think it is or not yet. But just a couple here. This one is from Summer, who's only 9. Why are you watching us when you're 9, Summer? Come on. But anyway, he says, I think because Wes was too hungover to do the group chat. How do you know that, Summer? What do you know about being hungover at the age of 9? Because Wes was too hungover to do the group chat on Monday. On the next one, he should have to wear full makeup, including false eyelashes. Ha ha, says Summer. Age 9.
There's still disturbing stuff, hangovers and dressing up and all sorts. A bit too much.
You know too much, Summer. You know too much. This one from Glyn. How about making Wes wear that awful brown suit as pictured last Friday on the group chat? Have you still got it, Wes? Still got it? Well, it's not a suit, is it? It was like you still got it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Maybe that is a decent punishment. That's maybe next week. Would you be willing to come on wearing the brown?
I'll have to see if I can find it.
Right. Okay. Good. That's a possibility. This one, actually, interesting one, says, I want to ask Maisie, what did he mean by when he wrote welcome on his Twitter account? Is it related to someone who may wear number 7 next season? Maisie? Can you tell us? No?
Hey, I got hundreds. I was out there trawling I was, and even got Danny. Danny texted me, Maisie, what do you know?
I was like, Maisie, what are you doing here? I said, what's going on? What do you know? Nothing, mate. Fishing rod. Fishing rod.
Right.
I was going to send the next one, Stu, of if you know, you know.
Okay, so
Keep
a bit of mystery.
The toes.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing.
Lee says, this is when we had Paddy on last week. Paddy, the legend, top player, harder than Keenan Robson. I don't know. That's a big call. That's a big call, says Lee Matthews. This one as well. Absolutely love this show. Keep it up, lads. We will do that. We will. And this one says, I think Wes needs to clean those windows. They always look cloudy. Obviously not today, but
Yeah, it's a good point.
Your windows?
Yeah, it's a good point, but it's a conservatory, so yeah. So
Yeah.
there we go. I don't know if they've been done.
No. So you need to clean the windows whilst wearing the brown suit. That could be that could be what you need to do next week. So if you want to get in touch, MUTV@manunited.co.uk. Boys, before we talk about all things Europa League, first of all, let me just tell you all, later on in this programme, you're going to have an opportunity to win a new home shirt, which we shall debut against Lask on Wednesday night at Old Trafford. So stay tuned to the end of the show, and there'll be an opportunity for you to win brand new Manchester United home shirt. Someone who's not going to be wearing the home shirt is Alexis Sanchez, who's now confirmed to have joined Inter Milan on a permanent basis. We haven't spoken to you, lads, since that happened. 5 goals in 45 appearances for United. And I think when he signed, I was so happy. I thought it was a fantastic signing. I'm still scratching my head about why it didn't work for him. I want you boys to tell me why it didn't work for him or what might happen. Ben, what do you think?
I was exactly the same as you, Stuart. We signed a player who, when he was at Arsenal, he virtually single-handedly won games for them on his own. He was a terrific player, and I seem to remember one game against Manchester United when I think they were, was it 3-0 up after 20 minutes? And he was certainly one of the goal scorers and the instigator of a wonderful performance. And I thought we'd got ourselves a player here who possibly could be one of the final pieces of the jigsaw, but it just never happened for him. And I think, I don't know whether the lads will agree with me, but when I was watching him, the harder he tried, the worse he got, and the easy things just weren't even coming off for him in the end. And I think that with the money that we were paying him, I just felt as though he needed to contribute and he needed to do more. And unfortunately, it just didn't work for him. And I think him moving on is the best for both parties.
That's the thing, Danny. I mean, nobody watching him is thinking, oh, he's not trying. But it's just saying whatever he tried, it just didn't work.
No, I agree.
As to what?
I think that does happen as a player when you can over try and overdo it, but he almost like needed just to take a deep breath and just play football. But no, it didn't work out. You know, it's just one of those things. Sometimes you don't have a right fit at the right time in your career. I think had he come 10 years earlier, then we might have had a, you know, when he was at Barca, so we might have had a better outcome. But I think, as you know, Ben says, it's the best for both parties at this moment in time. And you know, sometimes as a club, you just have to put an X through it and move on to the next player and focus on what Ollie's rebuilding at this moment in time. But it's a shame it didn't work out because, you know, I still always hold him in high regard for some of the performances I've seen him produce.
Yeah, Wes, I mean, when he joined, were you excited?
Oh, I was buzzing, Stu. Like we said, he was the best player on Arsenal, and obviously to be signing him at the stage where he was at, I think everyone was excited. It just didn't work out, and sometimes that can happen, regardless how good he was at United. It was, there were sometimes, and I actually felt sorry for him a little bit because you could see he was working, and it's a shame because at Arsenal he was a fantastic player.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, it's almost nailed on, isn't it? We're bound to meet in the Europa League. Well, the only place we could meet is in the final, but
yeah,
that's a possibility, isn't it?
It is. Him and Lukaku, 2 players we got rid of. I mean, Lukaku's still banging goals in as well. He scored the other night.
Don't forget Ashley Young, Maisie, as well.
Yeah. Plus, yeah. But yeah, the lads have touched on it. You know, some players can come in and hit the ground running. We've seen that with Fernandes with a large price tag. I think everything was geared about his wages and how much money he was earning, and maybe that put pressure on him. But what he did at Arsenal was phenomenal. And as the lads have said, I was buzzing when we signed him because I thought, you've nicked one of their top strikers off one of your main rivals, really. And it was great business at the time, but it just didn't work out. And, I just hope he doesn't bite us on the backside later on this month.
Yeah, no, that would be hard to take, that, wouldn't it? But anyway, got to wish him well now for the rest of his career at Inter Milan. Something else also to mention is the Premier League's Young Player of the Season nominees have been announced today. 8 on the shortlist. 4 of them belong to us, which says quite a lot, doesn't it? Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, and Dean Henderson, who obviously was out on loan at Sheffield United. But 4 of the 8 are Manchester United players. The other one's Alexander-Arnold, Mount from Chelsea, Pulisic from Chelsea, and Grealish from Villa. It is a public vote, so obviously vote for who you want. But have a look at the Manchester United app, have a look at the website, have a look at the article about it, and it gives you a link to how to vote. If you boys had to vote, I mean, you've seen Ben, you know, all the games this season. If you were going for Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, or Dean Henderson, who would you be voting for?
If you'd have asked me in the first half of the season, it would have been Marcus Rashford, but obviously with his injury, I think it's very, very difficult to look beyond what Mason Greenwood's done since he's come into the team as a young lad. He scored 17 goals so far this season. Just doesn't look phased at all. Takes each step as it comes from the 18s to the 23s, and now straight into the first team, just completely unaffected. And he just gets on with his job and does it to the best of his abilities. So for me, I think it would be Mason Greenwood, but it's a tight call between them all.
Yeah, because the first start, it was a long time ago now, but the first half of the season, whereas Marcus kind of carried us a bit, didn't he? You know, we had some injuries and we needed a bit of goals and inspiration came from Marcus before he did his back. So he's a good shout, isn't he, for this
So Marcus will be up there. I think I agree with Ben, but I think Marcus, if the public are voting, I think Marcus will just be a little bit ahead of him. And obviously with his injury, it killed him a little bit, but he was saving us in games at times. Some of the goals he was scoring. So for me, it probably would still be Marcus, but I can understand perfectly with them saying Greenwood, because I mean, if he was to, you know, if Ollie was to have given him a few more games earlier on, which I'm glad he didn't, because I think he's done it absolutely perfect. You know, we could have probably seen, well, we would have seen a lot more from him, but Marcus for me has still been the main man for the last couple of seasons, and I know he got injured and he was out for a while. But he brings so much to the team, and without him at the beginning of the season, we would have struggled later on.
Amazing. I mean, it's still going to be difficult to get past Greenwood, though, isn't it? Because you think of a young player, he really is. I mean, they're 22, 23, Martial and Rashford, that's young, clearly, but 18 and to have scored 17 goals, I mean, that is quite something, isn't it?
It is. You know, Ben's touching it. Wes, again, it's. Do you know what? When Marcus got injured and he came in, he stepped up to the plate straight away. I know he had the odd game there before that as well, but he came in and stepped up to the plate, and his ability to score goals out of nothing. You know, most times he's quiet in games, and then he'll just come alight and bang one in, bang two in. And it's been different class. He has. It's been an absolute breath of fresh air, and for me, I would give it him because of his age, and also that the pressure was under because of Marcus actually, you know, missing out on those games when he got his back injury. He came in, stepped into the plate, and he's been an absolute different class. And fingers crossed he can get to the 20 mark before the end of the season, sort of thing, with this Europa League.
Dan, who are you voting for?
You know what? I'd go for Mason as well. I think the rest of the lads have been fantastic, and they really have. Even if you go to the other teams, you look at your Trents and your Pulisic's and your Mason Mounts, and obviously Henderson, who's been on loan. But I just think all of those boys have played professional football before this season. They've all had a season elsewhere, and some of them a couple of seasons. But for Mason to come in his first season, or his first, you know, full season, if you get what I mean, and score 17 goals under pressure. You know, 17 goals is difficult at the top level, let alone the ease of which he scored some of those goals. And I just think he's proved a real specialist. Whilst I don't think the world's seen probably 50% of what he's capable of still. So I think for that to be your first proper season in a Man United shirt, in a team that's in transition, I think I'd go with Mason.
So have a look at the app, have a look at the website, and get voting for one of those Manchester United players. Boys, we've got to touch now on the Europa League. Manchester United off to Cologne this weekend, where they will be based however long it continues their journey in the Europa League. What we know is the quarter-final will be against Copenhagen on Monday after they beat Istanbul Başakşehir quite comfortably. And then the winners of that tie would play either Wolves or Sevilla in the semi-finals. So let's be honest, lads, that's a decent draw for the quarter-finals, isn't it? Copenhagen, Ben, you'd expect, you would expect United to go through, wouldn't you, to the semis?
Yeah, they obviously performed extremely well to overturn the deficit from the Turkish side. But like most Scandinavian teams, they're going to be fit and they're going to be organised, and they're going to need to be, obviously, against Manchester United. They'll have done the homework, no question. I think that if earlier on in the campaign you were to have said you need to beat FC Copenhagen to get into the semi-final of a European competition, I think you would have taken it all day long. And whilst they won't be treating Copenhagen lightly, will they be doing that? Obviously not. But should they progress with the way that they've been playing? Yes, of course they should. And looking ahead to a game against Sevilla or Wolves, I watched Sevilla last night. I thought they were incredibly good. I didn't see much of the Wolves game other than the penalty score. But I think Sevilla will be a real stern test. But they will get past Copenhagen. I'm pretty sure of that. But they won't be taking them lightly.
And for you, Wes, after what we saw against Lask in midweek, would you expect United just to go with the full hit, the full team Monday against Copenhagen?
I do, Stu, but I do feel that we have to, to get through. And then if we did get through the first one, everyone has to be on top form. There can be no more starting off bad. I think, these 3 games and everyone's got to be playing mentally right and performing at the highest level too. Because listen, you're talking about quarters, semi-finals and finals now. The teams that are in it, all good teams, like Ben said, all organised. And if you're not playing well, they punish you. So I think we've got a great chance of winning it, but every game now, it's got to be high performance.
The thing is, Maisie, it's just one-off. It's a one-off game. Anything can happen, can't it? You might have a player sent off after 5 minutes. I don't know. Anything can happen in a one-off game. Is that a different sort of feeling, really?
Yeah, and also there's no atmosphere or anything. There's no. It's, as much as it's not a practice match, it's like a practice match behind closed doors. There's no intimidation from the fans or anything like that. It's just, as you say, Stu, it's just a 1v1, and whoever wins on the day. But I've got to, go with what the lads have said, and United will get through. Wolves last night, I don't know. I truthfully think we can beat Wolves. Sevilla will be difficult. They are a good, very, very good team. If there's one to avoid, that would be the one for me. But no, as Wes said, three cup finals now. It's like pre-season. You build up to the final, the big games, and these are 3 big games now. And we've got to make sure that you turn up. If we start, last performance at Old Trafford wasn't the best. I don't think. It took us a while to get going. Sloppy passing. And in a one-off game, you only need a goal against you, and they can defend for, the rest of the game, and you're out of it. They're the fine lines. So we've got to make sure that we're absolutely bang on. And I'm sure Ali will make sure that, the lads are that.
Dan, the fact it wasn't a great game on Wednesday night, does that mean Ollie doesn't really have a selection dilemma? He's going to probably have to go with his so-called first 11 that we saw so often in the Project Restart game.
I think he always has a dilemma because people want to play, but I think you are going to have to go with your as stronger team as possible, and that includes bringing the likes of Mason, Marcus, and Anthony Martial back. You saw the difference that was made the other day when the subs were made. It just brought the level of quality up when Paul came on, when Martial came on. It brought the level of quality up. So you need to first leg. You've got to. It's a one-off game. You've got to go and lay the marker down and make sure you don't get beat. It'd be a disappointment to get this far and go and put out a team that's not in its rhythm, and then lose the game that way. So no, I think you've just got to go with your best team.
Yeah. So we'll be then in the bubble in Cologne for 2 days or 12 days, or depending how long it'll be. So we'll try and bring you as much colour as we can from those games and the build-up to those games in Europa League.
Stu, what's the time? What's the timings of the games? So you play?
Yeah, they're all at 8 p.m. basically.
No,
UK
no. I mean, you play Monday.
Monday, Sunday,
Sorry,
Friday.
mate.
Monday, Sunday, Friday.
All at 8 o'clock. Monday, Sunday, Friday. Yeah, so plenty of time to recover between the games. Now, to finish with today, a chance for you to win a new Manchester United home shirt. So this competition is going to be based on the BBC panel show Will I Lie to You? We're going to get each one of our guests to tell a story. 3 of them will be lying. 1 of them will be a true story. You've got to guess which one is the true story. Email mutv@manunited.co.uk, and one of you who gets it right will win a brand new Manchester United home shirt. So we have 4 stories. 3 of them are lies. 1 of them is the truth. Let's go through the boys then one by one. Let's start with Ben. Ben, you go first, mate.
Okay. My story is...
He went to the bar.
I did, actually. I did. No, my story is in 2010, I donned these bad boys, or a pair like them, and I was an extra in the scene from The Hangover where the helicopter came to the hotel in Thailand.
Okay.
The Hangover
tell us a
Part
bit
2.
more about just a bit that. But tell us exactly where that was filmed, mate. What it was like.
Obviously, Maisie and the lads will attest to it that we've had a long affiliation with going playing matches out in the Far East, and Bangkok has been one of our sort of top destinations, and we've made a lot of acquaintances, friends over there. And obviously that's where they were filming at the time. And I got a phone call to ask if I wanted to go to the hotel and just be a part of the breakfast scene that they were having when that helicopter pulled up over the top. Fantastic experience, I must admit.
So that was the start and the end of your film career?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Had to involve food, didn't it?
Go for breakfast.
Yes, okay. All right, so it sounds convincing to me. Danny, you don't look like the sort who would lie, mate. Away you go.
Yeah, so mine's a little bit different. It was not exotic in any way, shape or form, but we're at Knowsley Safari Park with the kids. Me and the missus have gone with the kids. You go as you go around, you sort of go, we're going to go through the monkey enclosure where, do you go through or do you look through the side? Because obviously it can tear your car apart. So as we decided to go through anyway, got kids in the back hiding their faces. I'm eating a bag of crisps as we go around. Next thing, monkeys are looking in. Opens the door on my missus' car. On the missus' door, and starts to she's wrestling with the door. Kids are scared, obviously scared to death. I've thrown the bag of crisp out, so the monkey would obviously, I thought he was coming for the food. Thrown the bag of crisp out. Monkeys jumped out and ate the bag of crisp, and my missus is sat there obviously having a panic attack. So yeah, that was what happened with us at Knowsley Safari Park. I wish we'd have had a car. I wish we'd have filmed it, to be fair, but yeah, mad story. A couple of years ago.
Monkeys.
He was trying to open the door.
Yeah, just try. When you get on the handle, grabbing on the handle,
right, okay.
pull the door open. So my missus is wrestling with it. Yeah. Man.
Sounds reasonable. Now, Maisie, I'm going to say lie straight away, but anyway, Maisie, you go for it. Let's hear your story.
When I was a young kid, about 40 years ago, about 10-year-old, where I used to live in Middleton, we was obviously playing out, loads of us playing out, and we go playing in the fields as you do, playing rally-o and tig and all that stuff. Anyway, we found 40 boxes of breakaway biscuits, Viscount biscuits, breakaways, that we should have actually handed them into the police because, 40 boxes of biscuits and 24 in a box. We decided to keep them and not tell the police anything. And for the next 4 or 5 days, we all munched on these biscuits.
So that's a crime, mate. You can still be done for that, no?
Because you didn't sell them.
I didn't sell them.
You found them.
I found them. Now, I don't know how they got there, I've no idea. But once we found them, that was it. They became my possession, or our possession. And we had like 4 boxes of breakaway biscuits each.
Were you sick?
Sick that I found them. No, I was happy that I found them. No, they were really nice. And my dad, being a policeman, actually said, you know, you should be ringing the police, but we didn't. So sorry, Dad.
Come on then, Wes, finish this off for us.
Yeah, so mine's a little bit different again. It was when I was in my younger years at United. We were still training at the Cliff. I think, if I'm correct, there was me, Jonathan Greening, Mark Wilson. We was on the Wembley bit at the Cliff, lads. You know which bit I mean?
Yeah.
And we were being a bit silly. Training's finished, and we were trying to smash the balls in the air to see if we get it the highest from Wembley, but onto the pitch. So the 2 lads went, you know, pretty high. So I thought, right, I'm going to absolutely destroy this in the air, which I did. Right, turn round, celebrating a little bit because mine went the highest. As it's coming down, it smacks the gaffer on his head, right on the side of his face. The look that I got, if I would have been any closer to him, he probably would have killed me. I won't tell you what he said to me, but I panicked for my life. And then I got a slap round the head a bit later on. But that's my story.
3 of those are lies. One of them was the truth. Who was telling the truth? MUTV at manunited.co.uk to be in with a chance of winning the brand new Manchester United home shirt. Who's telling the truth? MUTV at manunited.co.uk. We'll reveal the winner next week. Boys, have a good weekend. Take care.
Cheers, lads.
See you soon.
Cheers, guys.
See you later. Ta-ra.